from the NewsChannel 5 network. This is Score on Business.
Okay. Hey, welcome to Score on Business. I'm Pete Hendricks and your host for today. Make sure to check out scorenashville.org. We have lots and lots of resources for you. So our first guest today, Stephanie Huffman, who visits with us often, is president of Epiphany Creative Services, a boutique agency that focuses on assisting individuals nationwide in taking their latest product, passion, or project to the next level. Thanks for being here, Stephanie.
Thanks for having me.
And you know, I always know there will be a good new topic when you come. So you recently blogged on Gen Z, I didn't know exactly who they were, and you'll explain that to us. Who is Gen Z, and what prompted that topic to be of interest to you as the owner of a marketing agency?
Well, just when you thought you figured out that millennial in your life, which we haven't, here comes Gen Z.
Yeah.
So as of spring 2019, Gen Z has graduated from college and they're entering the workforce.
Right.
So it's time. It's time to learn about them. It's time to figure them out. But the beautiful thing about that millennial in your life that you may think is sort of a plus but a minus, one of the pluses is going to be they're going to be your translator. Because Gen Z is really not going to speak your language much at all, if any. And that millennial who's trying to learn your language is a little bit closer to being that translator. So a little bit about Gen Z. Demographers and researchers are saying, take a look at the years of 1995 to 2010 for birth. Some of the interesting things about them is security, interestingly, is of interest to them. But think about it, it makes sense. They were all children who grew up in the Great Recession. So they watched mom and dad take some hits. They watched the whole world just change overnight. And pretty much everyone was affected to some degree. So they've been able to see that struggle. So security is very important to them. Interestingly, they want to make a difference. They really want to make a difference. They don't want to just come into your company and be a part of the company. They want to change it. So if you've had some things on the back burner that you can't get to, put a Gen Z task force on it and it'll happen fast. Interestingly, there's a wonderful story from a teacher, I believe in Ohio, who did a TED Talk. And she was introducing her freshmen to her onboarding and everything. And she had this fantastic option of, I'm going to give you 10 extra hours if you do a give back here. And, you know, you'll get 10 extra hours of credit. And one girl sheepishly raised her hand. Now, these are 19-year-olds. And she goes, can the time I put into the 501c3 nonprofit I created count? I mean, these kids are creating nonprofits at 19. I didn't know what one was at 19.
It's a whole different deal. They are smarter.
They have access, and that's an interesting thing you just hit. Thank you, great segue. They're virtual. They're virtual kids. They've only known the internet. They've never known life outside of it. If you and I wanted information when we were in school, we had to walk to the library, you know, in the snow, uphill both ways, right?
Yeah, uphill both ways.
And then if they didn't have what we were looking for reference-wise, you had to put in a request for an interlibrary transfer, and then you waited for that to come, and then if it came, it may or may not be what you were looking for.
And you couldn't find the information nearly as easily.
Punch, they have it. Punch, they've got it. And there are also kids who have only known touch screens. They've only known cell phones. So they're starting there.
Right.
They're not learning, they're starting there, so they can go so much faster.
Right.
Right? So it's just very interesting. And they fit perfectly into a non-traditional and creative environment because they are so tech savvy. Interestingly too, they love informational updates. They want to be informed. Whereas we may, in our internal communications, think, well, you know, they don't want to know that, or they may not need to know that. They're used to ping, 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 information, 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 notification, notification. They want you to communicate with them and tell them what's going on. It's fascinating. They really want to know. So interesting tidbit, my last stat on them, they make up 25.9% of the American population. Isn't that something?
That is just crazy.
I know. Who knew, right?
I mean, I wonder how that compares to the baby boomers. Not that you would know.
Right. No, I don't.
that's a big chunk of the
it's worth doing the diligence on, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
And, you know, a lot of my customers are in that age range or just a little over.
Right.
And I'm here to tell you, I'm glad I was smart enough to get out of the way
and let them do their thing.
Yeah, and understand the way that I view things and what matters to me and how I make purchasing decisions. That's not how they do.
No,
you know, it's a
different.
whole different thing. And I think that recognizing that, and if you're an employer, you know, kind of understanding that they view things differently because they're your best asset.
They really are.
Yeah, I think that difference is really worth understanding.
Yeah, and if you're willing to take the time to let them tell you what they see, and let them tell you what they see about your company and you without being defensive, you're in a really great spot. Because they're already way ahead of us.
Right.
And they're not trying to prove anything. They just can see what we can't see. So especially for us, Epiphany, as a creative environment, can you imagine taking someone who was born on tech?
Yeah.
It's vital. I can't wait to get them into the company because I don't have to really train them.
Right.
They're already off and running, and they're able to come to me and go, you know, we missed this.
Right.
I want that for my clients. I don't want my clients having to wonder. I want to be able to tell them.
Yeah.
And these kids can help me.
Yeah.
It's great.
And, you know, they don't have the wisdom of experience, and they haven't made some of the big mistakes yet, but they definitely sharp.
Yeah, they need guidance, but that's okay. We all do.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah.
So, your company has a creative, non-traditional environment.
Right.
So, and I'm familiar. I've met with you and your team before.
Yes.
What does that look like on a day-to-day routine?
Right. So we do have a traditional
and let
home
me say,
base.
when I said I've met with you and your team before, what I didn't finish is I think it's a very good model. I was really impressed.
Oh, thank you.
And so, yeah, now if you'll.
Well, we enjoyed our meeting with you, Jim. One of the things that's important is we do have a traditional home base, but I don't require the team to office out of there. So here's an example. If I have a creative who works best at 11 o'clock at night, but I say, oh, no, you have to be in your car and arrive at the office by 8 or 9, and I want you to sit through morning traffic in Nashville, and then I want you to sit in evening traffic. Well, first of all, they're not even awake when they get there. They're cranky. They're cranky when they get home. So what if I let them work at 11 to 1, and in that 2 hours, they give me what I probably could have gotten out of them at 6 hours in work anyway, because they're going to have lunch, they're going to have breaks, they're going to stop working. In that 2 hours, everything's done. They're happy, I'm happy, the product is great. Who could ask for more?
Yeah.
Why not take that over the other traditional model?
Yeah.
Now, granted, not all Gen Zers are creatives. There's going to be engineers, there's going to be doctors, lawyers, you know. But the fact is, they are virtual. And people like that now. Even you, if I were to say and call a meeting with you, you would probably say, could we do a video chat? I don't really want to get in traffic either. And I really don't want to come to your place because all the construction that's going on, I really don't want to fight that. Even if my team is scattered around or on the road, we can all be on the video chat. You've organized for it. You've prepared for it. We're all going to be focused, and it's probably going to go twice as fast. We're going to get more done because we're all on message. We're all on target. We're all focusing. No distractions, unless, you know, the family dog wanders in and out. But that's fantastic. And I'll tell you something, too. For our environment, I brought in a millennial who splits her time between Manhattan and Nashville. And that was intentional on my part because I wanted her to be boots on the ground in the city, you know, that never sleeps and has all the trends. I wanted her there because I don't have time to know what's going on. I don't have time. They can absorb it so fast. They can see it, they can smell it. And it's worked out great. So I have a client like you. She's on, I'm on, you're on. We can be anywhere and have a fantastic meeting. It works.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit more about that, but we need a break.
All right.
Okay, ladies and gents, we'll be right back. Yeah,